shelf, put your wants on the shelf. You're buying in to another's dream. Wholeheartedly, fully follow. And when you find out that you begin to buy into another's dream, you learn that these are the steps that it's going to take to get you into your dream. You're only buying into their dream for a moment. And once you learn what needs to be learned, you're going to move on. So don't get discouraged because I got to put myself on the side for somebody else. Yes. Every time. Not every time, but most of the time. We say, oh, I ain't going to build nobody else's dream. They must be crazy. But we be lying. Right. All the time we are building someone else's dream. Right. Every time you go to class at school, you're building that teacher dream. Mm-hmm. That teacher had a dream to be a teacher one day. And every time you show up to class, you're making her dreams come true. Right. You're working on her dream. Every time your car breaks down, you take it to the mechanic to get it fixed. You are making the mechanic's dream come true. Come on, can we be real up in the house? Yes. Yeah, that mechanic had a dream. I want to have a shop where I can fix cars. And he had a dream. And by you bringing your stuff to him to get it fixed, you're making another person's dream come true. You do work on other people's dreams every day. Okay. Yeah. That's how the enemy have us all hoodwinked, bamboozled. I ain't going to help nobody. Every time you buy groceries, you go and help Walmart. All right. They had a dream to be rich one day. All right. Yes, you do build other people's dreams. And there's nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong. Somebody say ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. When we help them, we help ourselves. Amen. When we help somebody else, we actuality, we helping ourselves. At times, you might have to put your dream on hold, on the shelf, reserved for a later date, while you working to fulfill somebody else's dream. While you working to fulfill somebody else's vision. Sometimes you got to put your own vision on hold. But you got to understand it's working for your good. Somebody say it's working for my good. It's working for my good. Working for my good. See, God will give somebody else a dream and then have you buying into their vision. But you got to understand it's working for my good. Say it's working for my good. See, you find out by and by that their future was working on your future all the time. Their future was working to bless you. Oh, it's working for my good, y'all. Don't be brushing off another person's dream. Don't do it. Don't be brushing off somebody else's dream. They come to you with their dream. You know, I have a dream to do this, and you like, oh, no. You never know. Mm-hmm. That might be the step to get you to your dream. Mm-hmm. But you just brushed it away. Dreams are contagious, y'all. Dreams spread. Dreams spread like fire. If you give it the right fuel, dreams are contagious. Everybody around you will be affected when you have a dream. And your dream is birthed in your heart and birthed in your spirit. Everybody around you will be affected when you have a dream. And it's time for your dream to come true. And you've entered into your season. Everything around you will become affected when God begins to orchestrate it. Dreams lead to dreams, which leads to dreams, or so it seems. But sometimes you wonder, what does it all mean? What does this mean, preacher? God always gives us clarity. Always. When you're rising from the bottom to the top, God will always show you what's going on. Yes, sir. Somebody say, always. Always. In my text, Genesis 41:1. We find that after 2 full years, Pharaoh dreamed the dream, the Bible said, and no one knew what the dream meant. 2 full years. 2 full years after what? Can't just start off a chapter in a sentence. Starting off after 2 full years, we lost. After 2 full years of what? After 2 full years of the night, After 2 full years of the light being gone, y'all. After 2 full years, when all your hope has ran out the window, 2 full years had passed. Years of broken hope, shattered dreams, years that began to get so dark and lonely. 2 full years of your soul gripping with pain. And you can hardly maintain your sense. 2 years is a long time to have to suffer. 2 full years after you had done lost control. Didn't care no more. Ain't trying no more. Not going another further. What you do when everything done got hard and dark and you got this vision from God and you've been waiting so long to see it come to pass? Man, what you do when you're trusting in a God that you know can't lie, but you don't see none of what he told you? None of it. Man, what you do when you done put all you had into a vision that God gave you and everything seemed to keep going wrong? What you do when you're trying hard as you can and you just can't get up at night? What you do when you try everything you know and you just can't get it right? What you do? We throw up our hands, some in praise, others in surrender, some just quit. See, Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told his brothers the dream. And after he told his brothers his dream, the family couldn't understand his dream. Sometimes you'll have a dream, and your family don't even understand your dream. God will give you a vision that lights your world, and anticipation and joy floods your soul, but you the only one happy about it. Ain't nobody else even believe it. And so the doubters, they tried to destroy the dream and the dreamer. And they threw him in the pit. And then they sold him to the traveling Midianites, headed into Egypt, who in turn sold him to Potiphar, the captain of the guard. Just so happened, God orchestrated his steps. Through the trouble, God will orchestrate your steps. Through the pain, God will orchestrate your steps. Through the darkness, through the backbiting, through the mistrust, God will orchestrate your steps. Through the backbiting, through the stabbing and conniving and the swindling going on behind your back, God is orchestrating your steps, lining you up with destiny. You got to understand the darkness has a purpose too. He sold Joseph to Potiphar, who just happened to be the captain of the guards, which means he was rich. He was the general. He ran the king's army. He had a dungeon, a prison in the bottom of his house. That's how big this boy was. Potiphar was balling. And it just so happened that God allowed this general to buy Joseph. And in Joseph's mind, just like in many of our minds, when we're going through the struggle and we're going through the darkness, we're crying about it's trouble. But it's training. It's not trouble, it's training. It's not trouble, it's training. Somebody say it ain't trouble, it's training. Joseph got lied on. Joseph got thrown into the dungeon. But the trouble was leading him to his destiny. It had to go that way for him to be where he was today. Some things in your life, they had to go that way for things to be the way they are for you today. You wouldn't be comfortable as you are right now had things not gone wrong back then. You would not have that sweet love right now if you hadn't been left by that old ratchet love back then. You wouldn't be working, loving your job right now if you hadn't got fired by that job back then. Come on, y'all. From the prison to the palace. It gets hard sometimes. From the prison to the palace, you're going to go through some dark times. You're going to go through some struggle. But when you're going from the prison to the palace, you got to understand that your steps are ordered by the Lord. They're ordered. They're ordered. They're ordered. While in prison, Joseph, he ran into the butler, the chief butler, and the chief baker, who had done something wrong to upset the king, right? And they were thrown into prison because of their faults. And they had a dream one night. And they woke up sad and discouraged because they couldn't interpret the dream. And again, it does no good to have a dream if you don't know what it means. Don't do no good to have a dream if it's troubling you and you know it's important, but you don't know what it means. And their dream was not just for them, but their dream was a setup to line Joseph up with his destiny. Their dream lined up with Joseph's dream. Their dream was the pathway to Joseph's dream. See, God will allow other people to have a dream that lines up with your dream. But you got to buy into their dream to see your dream come to pass. God let the butler and the baker have a dream so that Joseph would buy into their dream and interpret their dream, thereby lining his dream up to come true. Joseph asked the butler, man, what's wrong? And the butler told him his dream. I saw grapes coming from a vine, juicy grapes. And I squeezed the grapes and I squeezed it into Pharaoh's cup. And then I gave the cup back over into Pharaoh's hand. And so Joseph said, interpretations belong to God. Anybody know what dreams mean? God knows. And when he told him the dream, Joseph interpreted it for him. Joseph said, well, the 3 branches are 3 days. And in 3 days, the Pharaoh is going to lift your head up. And he's going to bring you up out of this dungeon. And he's going to restore you back to your place as before. And you will hand the cup into Pharaoh's hand once again. And so the chief baker, he saw that this was a good interpretation, so he got excited and he began to tell Joseph his dream. He said, Joseph, wait, tell me my dream. And so he began to explain to Joseph that he too had a dream. He had 3 white baskets on top of his head. And he said on the top basket there, all manner of bread and bakelets and all this kind of stuff. And he said the birds began to eat the bread and stuff out of the top of the basket. And Joseph said, yeah, your 3 baskets are also 3 days. In 3 days, Pharaoh's going to bring you up out of here. He's going to lift your head up. You're going to come up out the dungeon too. But he's going to hang you but on the tree. And the birds are going to eat of your flesh just like they was eating of that bread. And he's like, oh, man. And so Joseph told the butler, he said, would you remember me? Somebody say, remember me.
Remember me.
When you come before the king, would you remember me? When you come into your place of success, will you remember me? You remember how we make a pact as friends? Like when one of us come up, we all coming up. When one of us get a good job, we're going to help everybody get on that job. Remember me when you come up out the gutter, when you come up out the valley, when you come up out of the darkness, remember me. Joseph said, speak a word for me to the king. Let him know I've been wrong, man. They stole me out of my homeland, brought me here, sold me into Pharaoh Potiphar's house, and his wife lied on me, got me thrown in the dungeon, and I ain't did nothing wrong. Remember me. Give me a good word to the king with me, for me. Talk for me. I did you a favor. I told you about your dream. I told you what I interpreted your dream. I told you. Who interprets dreams? God. God interprets dreams. Joseph, they did nothing but said what God said.